Continuing tropical storm coverage on my radar. 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 Continuing tropical storm coverage on my radar.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us here. We did our Facebook Live earlier. We're coming to bring you the latest on Tropical Storm Humberto here. Some pretty inspiring news here as we've gone through the forecast track. I know a lot of us had some angst over seeing another tropical system moving through the Atlantic Basin, and especially something that had such a familiar track versus Dorian. But so far, Humberto's been very kind to us, and with the 11 o'clock advisory coming out of the National Hurricane Center, more good news there. So we're coming to tell you what you can expect for the weekend. Humberto is strengthening, but some good news is that it's not going to be too much trouble for us. Let's get right into it. I want to show you the infrared satellite imagery here, where you can see Humberto's pretty disorganized. Really, all the action, those bright colors happening on the eastern side of the storm there on the right, those bright shades of pink, maroon, red, that's really the only organized part of the storm, and that's where those stronger winds are. Winds now up to 50 miles per hour as of 11 a.m. Only becoming a tropical storm last night, when the hurricane hunters flew a reconnaissance flight in there, took some data, gave it back to the forecasters at the National Hurricane Center, and they were able to distinguish what the center of circulation is. It is well south of where the organized thunderstorm structure is. So with that, we are dealing with the best case scenario. There's a lot of shear that's really preventing a more traditional wraparound kind of storm that's nice and pretty on radar with a nice circumference of thunderstorm activity around the center. But we are not seeing that at this point. All of that sheared off to the eastern side, which has helped also maintain kind of a lower tropical storm intensity with this. And great news for our friends in the Bahamas that are still trying to clean up after Dorian, of course, so they don't really need another system to come through and cause any more trouble. Thankfully, this is not going to be as much of an impact for them, especially now that all this is kind of moved off over the waters there, not much over the northwestern Bahamas, where we've seen a lot of the destruction from Dorian. So we're not even really concerned about surge for those islands out in the Abacos. Really just concerned with more of the heavy rainfall they'll be getting from this. But let's get right into it. We'll show you what we're working with here for the track that came out at 11 a.m. Some good news there. So Humberto isn't moving at this time. It's stationary, but it is expected to pick back up as a ridge that has been keeping it from moving further to the west breaks down a little bit. And then the westerlies, kind of our permanent highway of winds, if you'll put it that way, is going to pick it up, and we'll start to see this abrupt turn as it moves northwest, an abrupt turn moving off to the right, and we see that change in direction. So that's what we're going to be expecting for this track as we head into the later part of this week. And you'll see really by Sunday night, the storm continues to intensify, but, taking advantage of the stronger warm waters there. But the wind really keeping that at bay with shear. And then we see this abrupt turn off to the northeast. And even as Category 1, it's out of our hair. Bahamas won't have to worry about it along this track. We won't have to worry about it along this track. So just a few fringe effects. And I don't mean in the way that we saw fringe effects from Dorian. So all good news considered there. I think particularly as we go into the beginning of the week, we are very thankful that this is a best case scenario. So it isn't expected to intensify into a hurricane, going more into the beginning of our next week on Monday, start to see some more of that organization, but really keeping things at bay. Taking a look at how it's impacting us now, we are seeing some shower activity here in the Florida Peninsula. A few of those scattered showers I loosely say associated with Humberto. It's really the broader circulation that's kicking up some of that convection and bringing those scattered showers onshore to the Florida peninsula there. And really, if you've been to Florida in the summer, you know it's not really much of the sunshine state once you get into the afternoon hours. So your sea breeze kicks up almost every day, and we tend to get a dose of rain. So these showers aren't really anything too worrisome for us here as it moves through. Humberto stays well away from us, just some heavy rainfall at times, and it's kicking up a little bit with the waters, but not really a concern for surge at this point and along the current forecast track, which I must say, the National Hurricane Center feeling pretty good about this. The model guidance that we've seen as of late is in pretty good agreement with the track. So when the model guidance plays nice, the National Hurricane Center meteorologists really like that because it makes their job a bit easier. So we are very happy with the updates we've seen with this track so far, and as it continues to move by us here in the southeast, let's look at what we can expect for some of the wind impacts going on through Saturday. All across Florida, a bit of a breeze, winds in the 20-mile-an-hour range, a little bit higher in some places. In West Palm, 27-mile-an-hour winds, Fort Pierce nearing 30. So a bit breezy, but as we continue to move up the coast and the storm approaches on that northwest track, and then eventually makes its turn, winds are ramping up a little bit, even as we go into the Carolinas, but 16 miles per hour in Charleston, Wilmington, North Carolina, not too much to write home about. So really, if we just get a couple showers from this and a little bit of a breeze, I think that's the best case scenario. Everyone will take it. So very good news there. I want to take you and show you some of the beaches out, people out and about enjoying their weekend here, and that's the main thing I want to stress to you. Don't get all antsy and ruin your weekend plans, because so far things are looking wonderful outside. We'll take you to beautiful South Beach, Florida. This is near Miami, South Beach and Miami Beach. These are my old stomping grounds. People out there having a great time, enjoying their weekend. Plenty of sunshine out there. A little bit of wave action. So definitely a great day to get out. Just be careful. Swim close to the lifeguard. You see those double flags up there. So rip current's a little bit of an issue. But otherwise, a great day to be out and about. Moving a little bit further north to Cocoa Beach. We were just looking at this cam a little earlier. This comes to us from our partners at Surfline. And a little cloudy out there. Seeing some foam on the wave tops there. This is, as you get further north up the coast, this is getting closer to somewhat of the sort of middle of the peninsula. Ponce Inlet being a pretty good surf spot, in my opinion, here for Florida. So it's not really a surprise to see things a little more active here than you would in South Florida. But regardless, we're dealing with a pretty good Saturday afternoon here, I would say. And taking you further up the coast, we're going to take you to South Carolina now, where it's been pretty cloudy today. Plenty of people out and about on the beaches enjoying their weekend. And that's the main thing we want to stress to you. During hurricane season, it can get a little stressful. We like to definitely keep our eyes on the tropics and stay aware of what's going on, because you got to do that. This is the time of year to be paying attention. That's in our best interest. But we don't want you to ever panic or stress over hurricane season. We'll let you know the information that you can make the best decisions with. And at this point, the best decision is to go out and enjoy your weekend, because Humberto is not going to be a bother for it. We do have some other areas of interest in the Atlantic Basin, including one in the Gulf of Mexico that we're keeping our eyes on. Nothing else named out there as of yet. So we'll bring more information about that to you coming this afternoon. And in your fast forecast, of course, we've got the update in the My Radar app. So make sure you're sticking with us. I'm going to take some time now to see if we have any questions coming in. We've got some people joining us. Anybody want to say hi? I may not be seeing this here on my device, but I know we got a couple people joining us. Want to say hello to you. Thank you for always following with us and keeping up to date. I am going to sign off and say goodbye now, but I hope everyone has a wonderful Saturday. I hope you enjoy your day, and thanks for continuing to follow us. You can always find us here. We'll have the latest information for you, so keep staying tuned and have a great day, everybody.